station. Now, keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
Your source for the #1 sports weekends. Fox Sports, only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM.
This is WOCA, News Talk 1370. Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala!
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Thursday. It is April 9th. April 22nd, I think, is the date, Robin, that you and I will be playing some music over at the Humane Society, right?
Yep.
And when we're at the Humane Society, I know I will fall in love. Mm-hmm. Maybe not with a woman, but with some dogs.
Yes,
because
they're so cute.
I always fall in love with dogs. My own dog is up there in age. She's 14 years, has one really large tumor. I don't know that it's cancerous. The doctor says she can't do anything without risking her dying from the anesthesia.
Yes.
So, and she's happy and she seems to be pain-free. So I just, every day I go home and just count my days and say, well, you've been a good dog to me all these years. And I say, no more, no more, no more. I'm not going to have another dog. Mm-hmm. Not going to have another dog. I'm not going to have I said that before, too. Yeah. I said that 14 years ago when I got her. So I love dogs. The Painted Pilgrim is the name of a book from a guest who we've had before. Dale Ryan is on the phone. She's not only an author, she's also an artist, and she is an advocate for dogs, especially finding dogs new homes, which is perfect for our discussion about the Humane Society. This dog in this story is named Pellegrino. Am I right about that? Mm-hmm. So let's find out from Dale herself. Dale Ryan, good morning, Dale.
Oh, good morning, Larry. Yes, you will get another dog. It's in the stars.
No, I don't know.
I'm sorry to hear about your dog not being well, but...
Well, she actually is well. It's just that, a tumor looks bad. And when a doctor says anesthesia would be maybe the end of her, then you say, okay, well, then never mind. We'll just leave it on there. So she's walking around with this big lump on her, so...
I understand. Yeah, I've been there before, so I get it.
Well, that's the. I wish parrots were more lovable. For all the parrot lovers, I apologize, because a parrot will outlive me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they live about 75 years, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
You got to put them in the will.
Yeah. So,
that's right.
But you can't walk a parrot, You can't throw a frisbee to a parrot.
No.
No, you can't do that. They will talk to you, but dogs do talk to us as well in their own language.
Yeah. Well, a parrot just tells you what you said. It's like a tape recorder.
Yeah.
So where are you right now? Where are you calling from?
I'm up in the foothills of the Berkshires in western Connecticut.
Oh, okay. I used to visit Connecticut when I was a kid up in Milford. It's probably further away than where you are, but...
Milford or New Milford?
Milford?
Milford south of me. No, I'm up in the hills.
Okay. I don't know if I even know the hills of Connecticut.
In the hills of Berkshires? Of the Berkshires?
The foothills of the Berkshires.
Okay.
So this is a pink dog that we're talking about?
Yeah, I decided, I had written Sleeping with a Beast in 2012, which is it's a photographic and essay book on dogs, and specifically my 5 dogs and what it's like to live with a pack of dogs. So after I had gone through everything you could possibly think about raising a pack of dogs, I decided then to write The Painted Pilgrim, which is designed for children. And it's about a dog shelter and a very unusual dog by the name of Pellegrino, because his DNA is very different because he comes into this world completely pink.
Wow. Is there any truth to this, or is there an actual...
I just kind of thought, how do I grab a young reader's attention by talking about a dog shelter, but bringing in basically a new breed of dog?
So why is he a pilgrim? Why is he pilgrim?
Well, the name Pellegrino in Italian means traveler from afar.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I named him Pellegrino, because he has traveled from somewhere that no one even understands where this dog came from. So I thought that was really kind of important. And the great part about it is that kids have been so open to the concept of a pink dog. It's just been, that they would willingly, because as we know, a lot of adults would say, "Oh, I'm not so sure about this."
Well, was there a very successful blue dog or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know that there was a blue dog that was in Syria a couple of years ago where they actually took a dog and they had painted him blue.
Well, this.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, you are really illustrating the point, though, that this is really true to form of human nature. When there are dog stories here about dogs that have been abused, they make the news, and they're being rehabilitated. People from all over the place outpour their hearts to this animal, and they want to be the ones to adopt them. But you've got all of the dogs in the shelters that are waiting to be adopted every day.
Well, that was the great part. So Pellegrino has never been in a shelter. He's not even sure where he came from. He just has these, he reenacts these dreams that he has about where he came from, and he thinks that he was on a ship, which, kind of runs along with the idea of pilgrims. But anyway, but there are other dogs that become his sidekicks, especially these two dogs. One name is Buddha, who's a pit bull, and one whose name is Blossom, who is a terrier. And, the dogs themselves, the characters of these dogs, talk about where they came from. And it's really, and some of the sad experiences that they went through, and thank God they were rescued, and they were placed in this shelter because this is a no-kill shelter. And as we both know, there's so many dogs that are being euthanized, but there are shelters that they refuse to put down dogs. But so anyway, so they become friends and they share their stories. And the interesting thing that we have found about certain dogs that do come along, that there are some people who want to do nasty things to dogs. So there's a mystery in this book as well.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Dr. Sketchy and Horace Patch, and they're up to no good.
So did you utilize your art skills in the book?
Well, no. I had an artist do the illustrations for the book, and I just took my thinking and creativity and where I thought it should go. And it's a delightful story, but it points out so many things that's totally imperative for children to understand about how dog shelters function, and that there's a dog out there for everyone, and how much they want a home. And I think if you look through the eyes of a dog, because they don't have a voice, so we have to be their voice, it resonates with kids.
Well, you have Zuki, too, as like the hero.
Right. She's the vigilant director, and that's the part that's really important, is this director who seems to relate more to the dogs than she does to people. And she is adamant that her dogs all wind up in safe, good homes. And now this is all in a very perfect world, of course, but it's important to demonstrate this to kids, that there are people who are going beyond, their job to secure. And she goes through situations where she wants to protect Pellegrino, but she's in a situation where she can't bring Pellegrino home at night because she knows that these two people, Dr. Sketchy and Horace Patch, want to get this dog, and she wants to make sure that he's safe. But because there are so many rules and regulations that come, but for example, if you were to rent in an apartment of some form, there's a lot of people will say, no, thank you, I don't want your dog.
Yeah.
But, there's so many things that are blockading people from having dogs, and all these things need to change. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about dogs, because dogs bring us so much more than we could ever imagine.
Do you know, we have a new law. It's not that new, maybe a couple of years, where restaurants now, they don't have to allow dogs, but they have the option to have a dog area, and I think it has to be outdoors, right?
Yes.
I don't think it can be indoors. But we have a couple of restaurants not too far from here. In fact, one that my mom used to love going to when she was alive, right on a beautiful river called the Homosassa River, and it's an open air restaurant, and people will sit there and eat their food, and the dog is laying right next to them. And I just loved, my mom used to love going there and loved seeing the dogs. I think I even brought my dog one time, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is so funny, because this is an irony in itself. One of the reasons I wrote Sleeping with the Beast and then had written The Painted Pilgrim was that I was in England, and I was in the Cotswolds, and my husband and I happened to go into a tavern, and and we were greeted by a huge Great Dane. I mean, he was the size of the 16th century horse. It was unbelievable. And then I started noticing all these other dogs coming of all different varieties, shapes, and sizes. And I thought, well, this is not your usual scene in America.
No, it sure isn't, no.
But if you go into different areas of Europe, it's everyday life, and they don't have all these restrictions.
Is that right? Wow, I never knew that. We need to take a little break, Dale. Our guest again is Dale Ryan. The phone number, by the way, if you want to call in, you're welcome to. The number is 622-9622. Dale Ryan has been with us before. The last time she was with us a few years ago with her book called Sleeping with the Beast. Her new book is called The Painted Pilgrim. It's an adventure story about a large pink dog named Pellegrino. The Painted Pilgrim. We'll continue our conversation with Dale Ryan when we come back. This is WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A nice warm day today with plenty of sunshine. The high 82 at the coast, but 89 inland. Partly cloudy tonight, though 64 to 68. Tomorrow, partly sunny and warm with a shower or thunderstorm around in the afternoon and evening. The high 84 at the coast, 91 inland. For Saturday, clouds breaking for some sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm in the afternoon. The high 84 at the coast, 89 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hi, I'm Leah Caruso with Strive Rehabilitation, inviting you to join me Thursday at 11 a.m. for Health Matters. Ocala Health and Strive have teamed up to bring you the latest information on good health services available to you right here at home. This vital information will help you make informed decisions about your health. So don't forget to join me here at 11 a.m. Thursday. It's news you can use from Ocala Health, Strive, and your friends here at WOCA.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Fresh pressed juice blends made with beets especially can build up on your teeth, and as little as one juice a day could stain your smile permanently. A contaminated stethoscope pressed against the skin of a healthy patient probably won't cause a problem. I love that. Thanks for the probably. If we indulge ourselves in a few extra hits of the snooze button or a long mid-afternoon nap, we're just creating a template for our brain to stay awake in the middle of the night.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Holidays and memories go hand in hand. Why not make this Easter even more memorable by serving a honey-baked ham and delicious sides and desserts? Yum! Yes, the coconut and lemon cream cakes are back.
Enjoying the family, egg hunts, and just being able to relax without having to spend hours in the kitchen will make your day a memorable one. Hop on over to Honey Baked Ham.
Call and place your holiday order today, 861-0011. That's 861-0011. Honey Baked Ham, behind Best Buy.
Here's a way for you to have some fun and at the same time support Team WOCA The Source in our efforts to raise funds for the Marion County Literacy Council. You can have Robin and I come to your event or somebody else's event. I play accordion, she plays mandolin, and we'll give the oompa surprise to somebody who may not be expecting it. So call us at 732-8000, ask for Robin. 100% of your donation of any amount will go to the Marion County Literacy Council, and it is tax deductible. Call today, 732-8000.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 12 minutes before 11 o'clock. And, you know, we're getting close. Let's see, it's April. So I remember when I was a child in school, and April, I probably, summer still probably looked a million years away when I was at that age. But I remember as summer would come close, we would have this offer from the teacher to order books that we would read through the summer. And the book clubs, whatever they called them. And
weekly readers.
And the weekly readers as well, yeah. But yeah. You could order actually books. They would actually send books to the classroom, and then the teacher would open up the box, and then here's the books Larry ordered, here's the books Robin ordered, and
nice.
You get a handful of books. And I could imagine The Painted Pilgrim would have been one of those books I would have chosen just based on the description. Dale Ryan is on the phone, on the air with us. She is the author of The Painted Pilgrim, and it is described as an adventure story for young readers. Dale, I really think this is the kind of book I would have been ordering. I don't know if you remember those book clubs when you were a kid, if anybody remembers them, but...
Oh, absolutely. I remember.
Is it so?
It's a memory, but I do remember.
So, let's see. How long has the book been out?
It just came out, I think, the 15th of January.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be in the book clubs yet, but is it a soft cover, a paperback?
Yeah, it's a paperback, and so it's very easy to get if you want to. You can just. One thing, I'm a big advocate of local bookstores, so you can get it through your local bookstore, or you can get it through Amazon.
So have you had any feedback from the young readers?
Yeah, I have. That's been the interesting part. As I think I mentioned earlier, the part that's been so interesting about kids, because kids are like sponges, and their hearts are like rivers. So they are so open, and they love the concept of a pink dog. I mean, so the feedback. I always think my being that this is a different kind of book because it's designed for children. My best critics are kids. And the feedback that I've had from children has been wonderful. Just they can relate to it completely.
I'm sure they can, yeah.
I like how you said earlier about how to look into the eyes of the dogs, because they really do have personalities, and I do believe they have souls.
Oh, absolutely. Of course they have souls. They have spirit. I just look at my dogs. I know what they're thinking. They know what I'm thinking. I mean, that's the problem, but this is the good news. It's one of the reasons why I did this book was to educate kids and to let them understand that prejudice also comes in different forms, because, as I said, the two sidekicks of Pellegrino is one named Buddha, and he's a pit bull. And he really goes through how awful his life was when he was, placed in an environment that was so bad. But he's this lovable dog. And that's the important part, is for kids to understand that prejudice comes in all forms, and especially when it comes to dogs. I mean, and kids are open and with understanding that things have to change in this world in order to make it better. And the only way we're going to do it is through educating kids. And Larry, I really appreciate the fact that you were talking about kids and the kind of books that they read, because once they understand a situation, they immediately get it. They get it faster than people do. Right.
Did you write the book in the first person? Is it from the dog's perspective, in other words?
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I've got the kooky characters in there, Dr. Sketchy and Horace Patch, and then, of course, there's the knight in shining armor, whose name is Miles Undershed, who's an advocate for many organizations, and the vigilant director as well. But what I found that I had the most fun writing was through the dog's eyes. I had to become their voice and their experiences, and how bright they were, and how funny and humorous they are, because we know that's what dogs do. They make us laugh. They make us cry. They give us something that people don't. So for me, living with so many dogs throughout my entire life, it was really easy to play the character of the dog.
That's cool. Now, and did you happen to see the story out of, I think the story was out of Mexico, actually, but this woman who was a dog lover all of her life, she died, and the dogs showed up at her funeral that she had nothing to do with in her lifetime. It was like the stray dogs knew, oh my gosh, this friend to all dogs has passed away, let's go pay homage to her, and they went into the funeral home and they were just lying on the floor.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. I mean, I think there's this universal thing that goes on. I mean, it's kind of interesting. There's so many people I can be leery of, but I just know wherever I go, because I do travel a lot, I just meet a dog and we become friends. And it doesn't make any difference to me what their breed is. I mean, I don't really have a problem. I don't have any fear towards dogs. And dogs can sense, your vulnerability, or, they'll stay away from you. But I have noticed with a lot of people, and that's why in the book as well, there is this guy who's a dog whisperer, because he has a way with dogs that other people don't. So these stories all make sense to me.
And there are animals that have been abused, and then you see on television those commercials about the abused animals and how they want, the money to try to help their cause and all. That's just I can't watch those commercials. I have to turn them off. So how come they don't do it the other way as well and show dogs that need a family having somebody to play with and saying this could be your dog, this could be your family having fun?
Well, I can't answer for them. I imagine, this is my own personal opinion, is that they're trying to get people's awareness of just how horrible their situations are, and they are real. And I think that's the reason why. At the same time, I think you're right. It'd be great if they could do commercials as well, as like showing a dog like that and where they wind up in a loving home.
Our guest is Dale Ryan. She has written the book called The Painted Pilgrim, and it is a story for young readers. How big is the book?
It's like 32, 34 pages. I can't even remember at this point. But it's illustrated, and it's got so many ideas in there, and it's about constant ironing. So it teaches kids about what ironing means, and it also demonstrates that, through ironing, a bad situation can turn into a really, really wonderful one.
Do you know, I have a brother who is a veterinarian down in Sarasota, Florida, and he had a dog brought to him one time that was a puppy, and it had been attacked by a larger dog.
Right.
And the attack caused it to need surgery on its neck where the dog bit it, and ultimately there was nothing they could do other than to create a permanent trach in the dog's neck. So for the dog's rest of its life, it wouldn't be able to breathe through its mouth or its nose. It had to breathe through this hole, which of course would mean it could never swim, because if it was swimming, it would be breathing through the hole and would drown,
Right.
Well, my brother and his wife kept the dog because the people who brought it in didn't want it. And the dog is still around to this day. So as a result of this hole in the dog's neck, it can't bark. And so when the UPS man shows up, the dog is sitting there, just barking his head off, but there's no sound.
Yeah.
And the UPS, and it's a pit bull, by the way. So to make,
He's sweet.
Yeah, it's a sweet dog.
Oh, and he's not barking. Oh.
So it's like freaky to the UPS man until he got to know, this is the apparently vicious but very sweet dog.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he gets out of the truck, the dog walks up to him and wags his tail. But while he's still in the truck, the dog is like barking up a storm, but there's no sound.
Right.
So there's no sound. That has got to be really a bizarre sight. But, it's wonderful that your brother and his wife, kept this pit bull. And I bet he's a sweetheart, too, or she's a sweetheart. That's the whole point, is to get rid of the myths about a lot of dogs. And I think what's also important for people who are looking for dogs in shelters is to see what kind of behavioral programs that they have for dogs, because it's really important.
Well, we really have a great one here, and if we can brag about our own Humane Society. It's a non-kill shelter,
Yes.
You'll be happy to know.
It is wonderful.
That's fabulous. That's really wonderful.
So before we run out of time, I want to make sure we recap the book, but I have one quick little funny story to tell you about my brother's dog. I went to help him move. Now, keep in mind, this is Florida. It gets really hot.
Yes.
And so I'm out in the big backyard that he has, and he says, just keep an eye. The dog's name is Morris, right? Morris?
Yes.
Morris? Keep an eye on Morris. Don't let him get overheated, because the dog's cool through breathing through their mouth, and he doesn't have that to do. He can't do that. So I said, all right, keep him cool. So then my brother and his wife, they go into the house to do something, and I'm helping out in the backyard, and the dog is running around like a maniac. And I'm saying, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
How do you stop a dog from running around?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you can't.
It's a funny story.
And you can't throw him in the pool, cool him down.
No, right? That won't work. He'll drown.
He'll drown, yeah.
I got that.
All right, the Painted Pilgrim. How do we get the book?
Oh, you can, for those who strongly believe in supporting their bookstores, you can just go to your bookstore and you can order it through your bookstore. Or if not, for like a lot of people, they go through Amazon, and you can easily get it on Amazon.
Yeah. It is a good idea to say. I'm glad you said support your local bookstores. We have so many small bookstores that are now something else because they couldn't survive. So.
Well, the great thing about the smaller bookstores, even though they, so many of them are, so many people are just going in and just ordering their books there and saying, okay, I realize you can't have this book here but can you order it for me? And
they will.
And they will. They comply. They're great. They love books. So.
All right, so order The Painted Pilgrim, and Dale Ryan is the author, DaleRyan. Do you have a website, Dale?
Yeah, I do. I have it. I've got a number of them actually. So you can go on to either Dale Ryan, you can go on to The Painted Pilgrim, or you can go to Sleeping with the Beast.
Okay, all right.
I'm very easy to find, Larry.
Dale, thank you for finding us. I appreciate you coming on the air with us. That was a fun.
And I really enjoyed the story of Morris. I mean, I think that's a wonderful story. I'm sorry, I can't. The mere fact that your brother saved him is really cool.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Relative calm in North Charleston, South Carolina after the apparent killing of an unarmed black man by white police officer Michael Slager.
Officials do seem here in the initial days to be doing all the right things. They turned the investigation over to an independent agency, even though they didn't have to do it, immediately charged Officer Slager, and then the city immediately fired him.
Fox's John Roberts. A cell phone video showed the incident. Footage from a dashboard camera may be released today. A Madison, Wisconsin man's been charged with trying to provide support to ISIS. He was picked up in Chicago after arriving from Turkey. The Masters golf tournament starting today.
I've never been in a better position to contend at Augusta.
Rory McIlroy, the 7-1 favorite. Tiger Woods hasn't won in more than a year and a half.
I feel like my game is finally ready to compete at this level.
Woods hopes his back troubles are behind him. He's a long shot at 18-1. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Things aren't the same as they were when Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago. We didn't have reality TV. Back then, it was just reality. The most exciting thing that ever happened was when Jimmy got his head stuck in a gopher hole. And trust me, that's not a show anyone would binge watch. Yep, we didn't have much entertainment, but switching our car insurance to Geico was pretty exciting.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
At Napa Auto Parts, we got your car covered. Front to back, left to right. So whether you're looking for a driver's side window motor or a glove box light bulb, you can easily get what you need. Just go to NapaOnline.com. Reserve it now and pick it up in store later. Check it out now and we'll stop messing with your speakers. Or maybe not. Conquer the job with Napa Know-How. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spriven reporting. February was a good month for U.S. exports, according to the Foreign Agricultural Service in Washington. They said peanut exports were up 9.7% for the year, that is 7 months, and for the month about 10.5%. Raw shell peanuts up 18.1%. That's the biggest volume. And we're showing the top buyers are Canada, followed by Mexico, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and Russia. Russia was number 4, but dropped down to number 5. In peanut butter category, that category showing down 4% for the year, 7 months. The top buyer on peanut butter by far is Canada, followed by Nigeria. Then comes Germany, Mexico, and Japan. But overall, the peanut butter shipments are down, but for the month, they're showing an increase. In-shell peanuts, mainly grown in North Carolina and Virginia, and some in Texas, are showing that China's the biggest buyer this year. They bought 10,570 metric tons already, but only a small amount during February. Second buyer is Germany, followed by the Netherlands, Italy, and Canada. All of the in-shells are up 37.1% over the same time last year of 7 months. But U.S. peanut exports continue to be the lowest priced peanuts in the world market, and sales should increase after the planted acres is known from USDA.
Did you know you have a chance to win a Yamaha Viking EPS 4x4 during the Beef Checkoff's Rev It Up My ROI Checkoff Challenge? Thanks to Yamaha, you could be driving a new 4x4 this summer simply by sharing your Beef Checkoff story. Visit the My Beef Checkoff Facebook page for your chance to win. Funded in part by the Beef Checkoff. Entrants must be valid Beef Checkoff investors 21 years of age or older and residents of the lower 48 states. For full contest rules, visit the My Beef Checkoff Facebook page.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Ooh, a xylophone. Sounds dreamy.
Yeah, they don't make them like this anymore, Robin. I'm shipping it to the Musical Historical Society.
And you're you're packing it like that?
What, this won't work?
Why don't you take it to the Personal Service Center at the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street in Ocala? Just look for the yellow signs.
Great idea. That'll save me a lot of time.
The passing of time.
Personal Service Center makes sending packages easy.
And quick, call 789-6683
for the Personal Service Center.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. Check. Some new talent? Check. The same great sports talk?
I'm seeing it right now.
Wrong.
Wrong again? Wrong.
It's better.
There are so many great things going on in sports.
We gotta get it. From our mics.
Test.
To your ears.
The latest update we got is...
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000